Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, everyone. So, as we enter the new year, one of the main things that people tend to do is have goals, right? New Year goals, new year, new me. And a lot of what makes the difference between those who can stick to it and who can't stick to it, fundamentally, is making sure that the primary goals are well established and reminders are set up in order for them to remember why they're going through these painful times, because change is hard. Change is very difficult to to implement, and the road is fraught with all kinds of distractions and challenges, and so many times we just fall off the bandwagon, right? So it's important to remember the reasons why you're trying to obtain those goals, right? For example, a lot of people want to lose weight. So they try and do they find a calorie deficit technique that they want to implement it, and then when they fall off of it because of X, Y, and Z reason, could be anything, could be a serious emergency, or it could be just they didn't feel like they weren't motivated to do it that particular day. And so they just stop. If you remember and keep reminders for what it is that you're trying to achieve and the reasons why is it emotionally important to you, you're more likely to not only get back on when you inevitably miss it because life happens, but you'll come back stronger than ever. Mentally, you'll be ready to take on whatever challenge you set for yourself. So, when it comes to my earlier example for fat loss, I found that there are three main things that help, and I wish I knew a long time ago when I first started. And I started this fitness and get healthy journey in 2012 with Shaun T's Insanity. I wish I knew this then, because if I did, everything would have been so much better. So, the three things are consistency, using a calorie deficit technique, and then I'm drawing a blank. Calorie deficit, consistency, and homeostasis. So you've got to pick a calorie deficit technique that you are able to stick with for the long term, because when you're losing weight, just like it took you years, months, weeks, months, and years to put on the weight, it's going to take you almost just as long to get it off. That's why consistency in the long term is very important. So you want to pick a calorie deficit technique, whether it's counting calories, doing intermittent fasting, some sort of fasting protocol, or you could do a combination of high calories one day, low calories the next. When it comes to picking a calorie deficit technique, you gotta remember to stick with it, because you're gonna, like I said, you're in it for the long haul. So you gotta pick something that you can stay disciplined with, stay focused with, and it's enjoyable for you. Some people like to do small portions throughout the day. They do 5 meals a day, but they do small portions, like a small saucer, where they fill up the saucer, they just eat out of that one tiny thing. It's like teacup saucer, and they fill it up as much as they can. They just eat out of that, and that works for them. Others, like myself, I like to do 1 meal a day, where I have one big meal for dinner, and then for most of the day, it's typically just vegetables and fruit. It's also important that you have vegetables and fruit, in order to get the nutrients, because when you have more nutrients, you feel more satisfied during your big meal. And when you feel satisfied quicker, you eat less. And you're less prone to eating the ice creams, the chips, the big calorie hitters that make it more difficult to lose the weight. So we covered calorie deficit, covered the consistency, right? Now we have the third one was homeostasis. Now, when you pick a calorie deficit technique, your body's going to adjust to it after 3 to 4 weeks of implementing it, and you do it consistently. After about a month, your body's going to be like, you're going to adjust to it. It's going to be ready for it. And you're not going to be able to lose as much weight as you were before. This is why in one of the calorie deficit techniques that I referenced, I suggested one day you do high calories, another day you do low calories. And all of these calories, the high and low, are within the range of how many calories it would take for you to lose weight. So if you're a man like myself and you need 2,500 calories to maintain your weight, then you want to be at a deficit of 2,200. So one day you might have 2,200 calories worth of food. The next day only have 1,700 calories worth of food. And then you keep switching it off every other day. This way you are giving your body a reason to always be on its toes and not adapt to one form or the other. Another thing that I like to do when it comes to homeostasis, keeping my body on its tippy toes, is to wear weights when I go for a walk for 30 minutes, because there's an effect called the gravitostat theory, where the bones, the cells in our bones called osteocytes, will measure the input of our body and how much we weigh. And when it does this, it determines how many calories we need to consume. So if I'm at 260 pounds and I wear a backpack with 10 pounds, then the calories it takes to maintain 270 is a little bit more than what 260 is. Now, when you input that into a calorie calculator, it's not going to be a lot of difference. But the point isn't having a huge difference in how many calories. The point is to keep your body on its, like I said, on its toes, make sure that it doesn't achieve homeostasis. And as long as you're in that calorie deficit, as long as you're staying consistent with it, and you change it up every month or so, or go on your walks with the extra weight, the sort of the extra weight that's not really weight, but it's weight, the backpack with 10 pounds. As long as you're doing that for 30 minutes, the backpack with weights for 30 minutes, or just doing the high calorie, low calorie days, your body will not maintain homeostasis, and it will continue to burn fat, and you will see the numbers go down. I hope that helps. I know it was a little long, but a happy New Year to wherever you are, if you're in your new goals, and I hope this helps. Happy New Year. Get it? New year, new me, new us, and I'll see you next time.